Hi guys, back again. Given the rise in Novisite's share price over the last few days, I thought I'd reiterate the practice that market makers have for generating share sales, because there are two types, and the other type is likely to kick in, and some may not be aware. So I've updated my original thoughts. I unfortunately didn't put a date on it the first time. I wasn't sharing videos then, but this is updated as of 18th of January 2021, before the market opens. So market makers, they exist to make a market for the shares they cover. All shares are held by someone, therefore they need to encourage some of those shareholders to sell their shares to make a market, and of course them a profit. There are two main ways they do this, and we've seen clear examples of both many times now in NCYT Novisite, my favourite share as you'll recall. An example from a couple of months back is as follows. Plan A. The first method they have is steadily and sharply increasing the share price. After months of treading water as an arguably undervalued share, Novisite finally started to daily re-rate at circa 10% a day rise from the £3 to £4 a share up to a then current peak of very nearly £10. The market makers were happy to do this, as there were plenty of happy sellers realizing gains and plenty of eager buyers mopping up the sells for future gains. Similar is happening right now with the 5% plus daily gains we've seen over the last week or so. Now, most holders, me included, believe NCYT will be worth multiples of £10 in the months and years to come, especially after the trading update results we're expecting in the next week or so. So at some point, the sellers started to dry up, and the institutional investors also started to increase their stakes, like BlackRock did over a period of time. So the market makers revert then to Plan B. And that is exactly the opposite, so a steadily and sharply decreasing share price. This panics some long-term holders into crystallizing their often substantial gains, and also many new holders who perhaps don't know the company so well and fear it could go back down to the pre-rise level. I'm in a third category of holder, but that's for another post. The price dropped intraday from just below £10 to well below £9, and then over the next couple of days down to the mid £7, as the sellers were doing what the market makers required of them. To perpetuate the fear amongst holders, large buy trade announcements, probably for the institutional investors, are delayed either by an hour or just don't show up at all until after the market is closed. Also, if you follow the bulletin boards, as most of us do, lots of anonymous negative posters always appear to spread doom and gloom with baseless rumour and innuendo purporting to be fact. Who pays these posters, I can only surmise, but as that would be sinking to their level, I won't speculate. Now, order filling. Market makers get a lot of bad press, but to be fair to them, they're just doing their job, and without them, we wouldn't be able to trade as easily as we do. Now, when they receive a large order, and one for 4 million appeared after hours in CYT a few months back, for example, they wouldn't be able to fill it without manipulating the price and generating sellers. Having a basic understanding of how they work, the market, is key and helps many investors hold their nerve, as well as their shares, when the market makers revert to Plan B, as they always will. At some point they need to get the share growth. Now, if you were looking for a textbook on AIM and wanted to depict the best way to generate private investor sells, it would look something like this. On opening, push the share price up massively to get some existing holders to take profits, but primarily such a spike will also tempt in new buyers, who are sometimes referred to as rainbow chasers, and then aggressively drop the share price to get those new buyers to panic and sell at a loss, thus generating an excess of shares to fill the huge buys, which will be shown as delayed trades to further confuse the uninitiated. Now, I hope that helps, because it is likely to happen at some point over the rise that we've seen in Novisite recently, but don't be persuaded to get rid of your shares too quickly or too cheaply. Take care.